What is going on, guys? I want to go over something fast. And look, I know we go through this motion of, the Philadelphia Eagles and who we think they're going after, and everything seems too perfect at some points. And I gotta say this, because I look at other drafts that we've had, and I know last year's draft was a pretty good draft, getting Devontae Smith, taking a big chance on Landon Dickerson. We came out with some good players from that draft. And when it comes down to it, guys, sometimes we can't believe what we see and what we see, whether it's on TV or with some of these mock drafts. I mean, some of these mock drafts are so perfect. Some of them are pretty bad, and some of them are pretty damn good. Now with the Eagles only having 2 picks in this draft now, which I already knew we were going to trade back one of these picks with 15 and 18, that big trade with the Saints. We got an extra third for some trade-up ammo and got the 7th round pick this year, plus the first next year, the second in 2024. Okay. I've seen mock drafts. I saw a mock draft from yesterday on NFL Network that we were taking Devontae Wyatt at 15 and taking Andrew Booth would be a perfect first round. And then I see Peter Schrager's mock draft yesterday that took us, we were getting Drake London and we were getting McDuffie, with both of those picks. I feel like the Eagles are interested at certain positions, and I feel like because of these pre-draft visits, you have to kind of take them seriously. But at the same time, what do GMs around the league know about Howie Roseman and what he's going to do? And this is how they figure out these mock drafts. They talk to about 5 or 6 GMs to see what the Eagles are doing, what Howie Roseman is doing. Don't be surprised if we get bamboozled in what we think they're going to pick, because I take that 2019 draft, I take it very seriously at this point, because that was a heavy defensive draft. I want one of those defensive linemen from Clemson so badly, with Christian Wilkins and some of these other guys that came out. And, we drafted Andre Dillard, who we didn't even have a pre-draft visit with at all. We drafted him. We went for Miles Sanders in the 2nd round, which we didn't think that, it was really going to happen. Howie Roseman at the draft press conference after the draft, he was like, "Oh, we draft running backs in Philadelphia." It's like a huge joke. Okay, you drafted J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. You get one defensive player in the 4th round, Sharif Miller, which didn't work out at all. And, you drafted a quarterback in the 5th round. You know what I mean? So they picked up offensive players in a heavy defensive draft. So when I look at this draft right now, I think this defensive draft is better than 2019's defensive draft, just my opinion. But it wouldn't go past me right now if the Eagles went for a receiver in the 1st round, which I really don't mind. But if the Eagles, we see what's going on with Tyrann Mathieu, see what's going on with that. And, we have a hole at corner, a hole at safety right now. You need some offensive line help. You draft a running back this year. You could definitely have a lot of holes to fill right now for this season, which I don't think the Eagles are really playing for anything next season, to be honest with you, with Jalen Hurts and having this tryout year, if he's going to be the future for us, because at the end of the year, 2022 of the season, he's going to be doing an extension at some point. So when I look at that draft and look at how big this defensive side of the ball is in this draft, Howie could totally make us believe that they're going defense in the 1st round. I wouldn't put it past them if the Eagles went after Drake London in the 1st round. If they went after Jameson Williams from Alabama, I think is the best receiver in this draft. But with obviously off that injury, but he will be ready for training camp. There'd be no doubt in my mind they could draft a Tyler Linderbaum in the 1st round as well, with one of your first 1st round picks. There's possibilities like this could happen. Would I be kind of mad? Yeah, a little bit. It just depends how everything's going to work out. If they feel like, Howie might value some other positions in secret that we don't know of, like he might value wide receiver. Hey, get another, weapon for Jalen Hurts, which I think you can do. And I understand that receiver goes well into the 2nd round. I understand there's depth at that position. There's depth at safety. I understand there is depth everywhere as of right now. But it would not shock me, guys. It really wouldn't, because I know we talk about it every day, and if we draft this one and draft that one, and I love some of these mock drafts that are coming out with taking one of those Georgia defensive tackles, getting a cornerback. If the Eagles don't trade up for Sauce or Stingley, they can just go get Andrew Booth, and I'll be totally happy with it. But it might actually, we might get tricked. We might get fooled. Howie can completely do the total opposite. He might even draft a quarterback in the 4th, 5th round, because there is some rumors that the Eagles have been talking. Calling certain coaches about Malik Willis, calling coaches to talk about some of these quarterbacks that are coming out. There are rumors that the Eagles will go into the top 10 and get a quarterback at this point, which I don't think is going to happen, because that trade with the Saints kind of solidified that the Eagles are giving Jalen Hurts another year, and they're kind of giving this thing one more year go. I mean, the Eagles have not even changed the coaching staff at this point. So I got to think to myself, they're kind of not changing anything. They don't want to change too much. They kind of want to give these coaches, I think some of these coaches are going to be on the hot seat this year, whether it's position or, defensive coordinator with Jonathan Gannon, I think is on the hot seat. Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator, is definitely on the hot seat just because he needs to scheme these guys better in games and give Devontae Smith the ball. I mean, you got to give him the ball a lot more, get Quez Watkins the ball a lot more, and Miles Sanders needs a big year this year. So there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of pieces that are at a standstill right now. And because, like I said, I know this draft is from, a few years ago, but at the same time, you have to look at the evidence of Howie Roseman's track record of, if this draft is defensive heavy, he will try to be the smartest guy in the room and go get you an offensive player that no one's going to think that they're going to get, which I don't think they're going to go the position we think they're going to go. As much as I like to hear Devontae, and look, if it's true and we're getting the guys that have been said we were going to get, that's fantastic. When it comes down to it, it's really hard for me to say they're going to go in the direction we think they're going because Howie Roseman does not show his hand. I mean, really no GM show their hand too much. I mean, you see some teams that have a lot of interest in this one and that one, and you hear some, mostly about quarterbacks mostly. But, I mean, it's so ridiculous to the point where I don't even see Aiden Hutchinson going number 1 overall to Jacksonville. I see Travon Walker in the top 3, which I'm kind of like, why? You know what I mean? So things could change. Players might come down to the Eagles at 15. Maybe the Eagles do not have to trade up, as well as everyone thinks they're an NFL guru, draft guru. Like, I don't think I am. And I know that maybe some of you guys think that they're going to do certain things, but don't be surprised if they go a totally different direction or the direction was going to be different this whole entire time. So that's really all I got to say, because really I take that 2019 draft and say heavy defensive draft, and look what they did. They drafted tackle, they drafted running back or wide receiver, a defensive end with one defensive player with one of those picks that was late, and then getting a quarterback on top of it that didn't even work out after 1 year. So it's interesting. And that's why this draft is so exciting, and we don't know what's going to happen. So that's pretty much about it. Like, don't believe every mock draft you look at. I mean, it's always wrong every year. Always wrong. But maybe our pick will be right. Maybe the Eagles will draft trenches and go after a cornerback. Even though, the Eagles brought in all these pre-draft visits for 2 defensive tackles already, almost 2 cornerbacks, and obviously, they've already shown rumors that they're going to bring in McDuffie for a visit. They're bringing in Sauce this past weekend, and they already had a meeting with Andrew Booth Jr. already. So don't be shocked, because I'm getting myself prepared and ready for it, even though I'm still going to be pissed off regardless, because it wouldn't surprise me if they go after one of these receivers we don't like maybe Drake London. Maybe some people like Drake London. Me, I think it's a reach to get him at 15. I mean, that's just me, but you never know what they could do. Like I said, Tyler Linderbaum. I mean, they could go crazy. I mean, they could go a position where a player would be like, holy crap, I didn't think they were going to do that. Just look out for it. That's all I'm going to say. I want to know what you guys think about that and kind of take that 2019 draft into, precaution of what actually could happen in this, 2022 draft this year. So kind of want to know from you guys what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys later. Shake Squad up, follow us live. Peace out, guys. Peace.